getting ready. It's March 3rd today, and it's pretty warm. It's above freezing. The snow is starting to disappear, so I guess it's about time to get the 1974 Ski-Doo Olympic 300 parked up for the summer. So with that in mind, I'm going to mix up some nice fresh fuel for it with a little bit of small engine tune-up. I'm not sure if it works, but it's not really going to hurt anything. And later some fuel stabilizer. I'm going to run that through to fill the carburetor, and then basically run it out of fuel, and that should keep everything from gumming up over the summer months while the thing is parked. So I'm just going to mix up some 40-to-1 here, snowmobile oil with some premium gas and the little bit of the small engine tune-up in there, and then run it through for a bit, and then I'll add the fuel stabilizer a little later. Just things seem to not run that well on it. My plan today was to take you guys along for the ride with the 74 Olympic behind me. I took it out farther than I've had it away from home. Just haven't really fully put my faith in the 47-year-old machine just yet, but man, I was having a blast. It just ran great, lots of power, just giving her out there. And so I stopped to dig out the camera to start filming, and wouldn't you know, that's when it stopped running great. Stalled out on me, was hard to start. Finally got her going. I wasn't stranded out there, thankfully. Brought it back home, but that's kind of where that ended. So unfortunately, it looks like a ride along is probably going to have to wait until next year, I would imagine. By that time, hopefully I've got some more of these running issues ironed out. Could be a spark plug. I put the old spark plug back in. If you've been following along, I'd put a new spark plug in it, brand new, and it ran horribly. And I could not figure out why until I remembered that brand new spark plug. Put the old plug back in, and it ran much better. So maybe I just need to find the right plug. Maybe this old plug isn't in that great a shape either. So other than that, I guess you'll be seeing more of this thing in the spring. I am going to go through the winterization, or I guess summerization process on this thing shortly. I do have the original manual, so I'll go through that, might record some of that. We'll see if it's interesting at all.
Somehow find a way to be able to get on the cat tree. I hope it's sturdy enough to fit my weight. I think it is. I don't know. To be able to peel it better. Put my leg here. There we go. Hopefully I don't get stuck forever. Okay, good. It holds my weight. Oh my gosh. That was so good.
Amelia is stripping the paint off of the Seaberg M100A jukebox. It needs a little more help than that, but every bit counts. Right? What's its name?
Judy.
Judy the jukebox. All right, I'm gonna move all of this stuff, all this cool stuff.
Resting, and they're
Yeah, it's not great, huh?
I know what to name this thing.
What's that?
Judy the Jukebox.
Judy the Jukebox. That's not half bad. I think we can go with that.
Because I was thinking, what name starts with a J?
Mm-hmm.
Judy. So then that's her name, Judy.
Yeah, we're pretty sure it's a girl jukebox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I have no idea, because jukeboxes don't have genders.
Not really. Not as far as I know. I'm going to try a little something here. A little bit of steel wool on this aluminum. Just gently shine it up a bit. Hopefully it doesn't wreck it.
I have a tiny bit of a sucking noise, but I don't think I need to get tested.
I'm sure you're fine.
It's probably just winter.
Yeah.
But it's moving to spring soon, so yay!
Got any big plans for the spring? Things you want to do this summer?
I'm kind of looking forward to when it's summer and it's nice out, and then we can try and organize the shop because it doesn't look that organized right now.
What do you mean it's not organized? It's beautiful.
There's a random stool over.
Oh, pshaw. It's so organized
Also
in
an
here.
old shoebox.
It's so organized in here. Everything is exactly where it belongs.
You're probably joking around because over here it's so. I don't know. I don't even know if I'll be able to get out now. I did this to myself.
Evening, everyone. Tonight we're going to get a start on preparing the 74 Olympic 300 to sit over the summer. So I'm not too sure if we're going to get through all of this summarization. It's pretty in-depth, but we'll hit the major points. Okay, so I've got the back end hoisted up on my chain hoist. This hook, it's just a screw-in hook from Home Depot. It is clearly not meant for this. It's overtaxed. But for now, it does the trick. And at some point, I'm going to have to rig up something an awful lot stronger. But for now, we just need that off the ground. So, folks, don't do as I do, do as I say. Safety first. Okay, so here we have the third set of bogey wheels. Just taking the shaft out. It's pretty darn worn. Well, I don't think we're going to do much about that. The wheels themselves are, maybe you can see on this one, they're pretty rough. But I'm going to use them until they don't work anymore, till they fall apart. It's kind of on a fix-as-fail basis. Okay, so this is the rearmost bogey. It's all lubed up, cleaned up the shaft. It was caked with grease and dirt. So I lubricated it with my good old buddy fluid film. Love this stuff. So that's all nice, ready to go. Gave a shot of fluid film to the wheels as well, just to protect the metal, and grease the fittings. And wouldn't you know, I'm completely out of grease. Every grease gun I've got is empty. So that may slow us down a little bit, but really I can still do the cleanup on the other two sets of bogies, and I'll just grease them after when they're in place. Yeah, so no big deal there. I'm going to carry on. We got bogey number 2 here. It's not in much better shape than number 3. I don't know if you can hear that. Got the Oilers game on. Go Oil. Take it to the Flames tonight. Let's go. All right, here we have bogey set number 1, and more of the same. Pretty rough. and it appears to be, you can see here, it's kind of bent. So if anybody out there watching has a set of bogie wheels or shafts or even a complete decent bogie assembly that they'd like to donate to the cause, drop me a line. I'd be glad to accept. Otherwise, it looks like I'm going shopping before too long. Alright, so as you can see, I've indexed this shaft a little differently than how it was, and that's taken out some of that flop, but from here even you can see how crooked the whole bogie is, and really that's probably going to have to be changed. Oilers 1, go oil. Yeah, I'm going to have a look at this clutch and see what I need to do. Okay, so I've cleaned up the drive pulley with a little bit of steel wool. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. And I've lubricated the flywheel weights with some grease. Of course, the manual says only to use a light coat of, where it is, of approved grease. Now, they don't tell me what grease that is. I had on hand this ceramic Easy Slide brake lubricant grease. Is it the approved lubricant? Of course not. Did it exist in 1974? Of course not. It's a synthetic grease. I know it'll be good for low temperature. This weight in particular was a little sticky. It's moving much better now. I did have some issues with the sled when it was warm, where it would start to chirp the belt and just kind of feel a little bit sticky. So hopefully this service will fix that up. Okay, so actually that wasn't too bad. With the lack of grease, I'm not going to be able to go much further today. I don't really want to do anything with the fuel system, draining the fuel tank, draining out the carburetor, until I've got it parked kind of where it's going to go, so that I don't have to drag it quite so far through the snow by hand. I took the opportunity to set the track tension. It was a little tight, so that's going to improve performance. Yeah, basically everything's kind of ready to go. I'll just get some grease, finish greasing the bogie wheels and the rear hubs, and then I'll drain the fuel tank out, empty out the carburetor, throw a tarp over it, and it should be good to go until next winter, which around these parts will be here before we know it. Good morning, everybody. Almost finished with the summarizing of the 1974 Olympic 300 here. Having gone through the process, I found some things that were out of adjustment, that needed some lubrication. It hasn't been used much over the last few years. So with that in mind, I'm going to take it out for one last rip here. Hopefully I can get some film of that for you as well, and just to see if anything has improved, what with the adjustments and the changes and stuff. So yeah, should be the last run of the year, I suspect, before I drain the fuel out.